Yeah. So, talking about your neighborhoods that you like to reference, out of the four, so you have feed, story, live, IGTV. Where should we be focusing our time and energy? And is it different with different industries? What are you seeing?
Well, I always say you have to curate a feed that is, that proves you are who you are. Can I share my screen? Will people
Yeah.
see the visual?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you want to give me screen sharing?
Oh, yep.
So I always say, I'm going to share my screen just to hit home with these points. I think it's really important.
Okay, cool.
Um,
And if you're listening to the podcast, we will link to this. We'll have it so you guys can see the video.
oh, cool. Awesome, you guys. Yeah, you definitely want to jump in and check out this video. So I'm sharing my screen with not my calendar, with my Instagram account, the Instagram expert. So come over and say hello to me. Hit me up in a comment thread or in the DM and say hi. But I always say if you're new to Instagram, and because now there's 4 places to create content, where when I started teaching, there was only one, the feed, it's more important than ever to understand where your audience is hanging out. But it's also really important to show up as the go-to authority in your industry, in your niche, the thing that you promise that you are in your bio. So on Instagram, it's so important to have a boss bio and say who you are, what you do, and the credibility around what you do, whether that's how many years you've been doing what you've done, or the awards that you've won doing what you do. And so when you are clearly stating who you are and what you do, that promise that you've made in your bio has to be represented visually in your feed consistently. And consistently looks differently for everyone. How many times a week can you show up and post? For me, it's 4 times a week in my feed, five times a week in my stories. But notice the consistency of branding with my branding colors. I have 4 branding colors and it shows up consistently. And you can really see the energy around who I am and how I teach.
Mm-hmm.
And what you see on Instagram is exactly the person that you meet when you see me in person. And I'm obsessed with hats. Often you'll see me wearing hats.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm obsessed with growing a thriving community and really shining the light on other people. And so you really get a sense of community, of lifestyle. I live here on Cape Cod near the water, and in my building in Boston. And you can feel more intimately connected to me because I show you aspects of my personality, my values, my core values, my interests, all while teaching Instagram marketing on a regular basis. So number one, you have to have that content in your feed, and that's where you should start, always with the feed. Number 2 is going into stories. So your stories should absolutely match up to your values. My daughter shared with me this amazing artist, this quilting artist that's coming to Boston to the MFA, that I will absolutely be visiting her exhibit soon. And I'm all about color. I'm all about art. And you can ask an engagement sticker and you can get people to actually take action on that engagement sticker and be a part of the conversation. And I'm also giving organic shout outs to other accounts that I get value from, which is so important. I shout out artists on Instagram, and I'm always, doing a little screen grab of people's comments and the value that they get from the way that I coach and show up. And then, soft selling a program for me is by literally sharing what results my clients get. So I'm all about sharing other people in my Instagram account. And so stories support content that's shared in your feed, that amplifies the feed, that lives on forever unless you delete it or archive it. And if you don't know how to do that, I have a YouTube channel, SubiZimmerman.com/YouTube, and I have a video for everything, like literally over 360 videos. But when you peek here and you also see my highlights, they're also on my brand colors. And whether you're tapping through my IG tips, or you're meeting my team, or you're looking at the praise videos, highlights, all of them literally are pieces of content. And so a lot of people don't know that you can share a highlight as a resource. These should be resources for people to understand how they can connect with you further. So each one of these highlights has its own unique URL. Every post has its own unique URL. And if and after you've felt comfortable with your feed and your stories, you want to start your own channel, your own broadcasting channel. That's what IGTV is. And again, if you're going to do it, it should be consistent and be on brand and feel organic to your feed and what you're doing and showing up online. And so a lot of my IGTV videos are about health and wellness. I have a degree in nutrition, so that's a big part of my personality. Okay. And you'll see that. You'll see me giving shout outs to some of the different tools that I use when I broadcast. And like I said, I'm obsessed with hats. So often in a hat or bright colors. Mm-hmm. And you really get a sense of personality, which is what people really want to feel connected to. And if you were to take this a step further, I tapped into the link in my bio and even look at my strategy guide. And this is content too. And my strategy, this YouTube video is all about my strategy guide that's 11 pages. And when you go to my YouTube video, you can download this strategy guide, SubiZimmerman.com/guide, and grab it. But I'm showing this to you because I really want to hit home with everything that you do online, no matter whether it's on Instagram or it's on your opt-in page or your website, it all needs to feel on brand and a part of the energy that you're putting out into the world. So even on a free opt-in where you guys can get 11 pages of understanding the neighborhoods deep, we put testimonials so that you see other people talking about this free guide. This free guide gets us 200 new email opt-ins every week. And those email opt-ins help us grow our business every day. Yeah. So we take every piece of content that we do extremely seriously because it's not always about exchanging money. It's about building trust. It's about building credibility. And it's about showing up in a way that makes you memorable and stand out from everyone who does what you do.